address two things that I see with a lot of runners. Number one is their hips are super, super tight and they really have very limited rotation. For example, this position right here is super, super hard for a lot of runners, and they'd be sitting with their knees up here because the hips are super tight. And number two is a lot of runners I know, they attempt to stretch their hamstrings. So their hamstrings do have some work, but they neglect their quads and their hip flexors and their TFL muscle, even the IT band. And when these muscles are tight, it leads to tension in the knees, which gets them to actually stop running and perhaps even miss a race from a run-related injury, just due to just some built-up tension in the knee. And so we're going to get into all of that in these two stretches. So let's go ahead and get started. First stretch we're going to start with, we're going to find ourselves near a wall or a couch or something. And we're just going to come into all fours. So hands and knees. And from here, we're going to walk one leg back. And we're going to place the knee on the ground if we can. So the leg will be up the wall or a couch or a chair or something. And then we're going to begin to crawl the hands back slightly. And we're going to take the opposite leg or foot and see if we can step it up close to that hand. So this knee's at about 90 degrees. And then we're going to continue to walk the fingers back. Now we can stay as low as we need here. Right, this for most people starting to open this up. We want to try to turn down towards the ground, stretching this. But as we get better at this stretch, we can start to make our way up to our thigh, right? Opening up this side a bit, even pressing down through that front foot. So we draw ourselves back slightly, activating some of these muscles on the right side. And then even maybe bringing the hands back towards the wall or the couch, and eventually coming all the way up to 90 degrees, sliding this foot back, keeping that 90 degree right here. And maybe even touching the back against the wall, really opening up this left side. We don't really stay there too long. I like to hold these stretches for 10 to 15 seconds, come out, and then I come back in. Just allow the nervous system to kind of relax just for a moment, see if I go a little deeper each time. And then we come out, and we're going to move into our second stretch. And this is called a pigeon stretch. And so just coming off of the wall or the couch, going to be in this similar kind of lunge position here. And from here, I'm just going to take this foot and kind of kick it out to the side, placing the shin down and coming over the front of this leg. Now, it's super important that we keep this lower leg mobile so we don't jeopardize the knee. We don't want to load that knee joint. So we don't need the foot at 90 degrees, right? The foot will end up actually coming back and the heel will be in the hip crest as we kind of turn over that front foot. And see if you can slide a little forward or crawl that back leg back so we create some length through the entire back body, through the spine. And again, drop that right hip down if you need. Take a moment, make sure that this lower leg is mobile before coming over. Now, if this is too much for you, you can do the same thing on your back. Just roll onto your back. And we'll just hug this knee towards the right shoulder, bringing this foot across the body or into that hip crest. And just work on releasing some of that tension on your back. But if this is okay from this position, we start to make our way down, even sliding the elbows out, resting the forehead on the hands. And just to show you how that would look on your back, it's quite simple. We just roll down onto our back. We hug that knee into that same side shoulder. sliding the opposite hand down and just moving that heel cross towards the hip crest, hugging this knee kind of towards that shoulder, or even the center of the body, stretching some of these deep glute muscles. We just hold there and we come out and back in as we choose. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And also let me know if this was helpful. Coming out with a couple more stretch videos for runners. One in particular that is going to be super awesome for the hips. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.